Welcome back, and you are still watching Urban at 9. Now, the search for the missing wife of the Member of Parliament for Buyaga West County, Barnabas Tinkasimire, is still on.
Now, police today secured her call data from the telecom companies to help trace whom she was communicating with before her disappearance. Today marks 7 days since Lynn Babazi disappeared.
The call data, which has so far been secured, dates 3 months back and up to the 14th of this month. However, there will be delays with investigations since telecommunication companies gave police an extra 1 week to be able to avail call data ranging from the 15th to the 19th, the day Lynn Babazi disappeared.
We have secured the call data, and our officers are now analyzing the call data. And from the call data, we will be able to pick a few clues which might lead us to where she is or what happened to her.
For now, police is thoroughly scrutinizing the obtained call data. Police have continued to appeal to the public to join in the search for Lynn Babazi.
We are still calling upon members of the public, in case you have any information that can lead us to where this lady is, please come forward. Go to Katwe, or you can go to the nearest police station, or you can come to CPS room 45 and we'll be able to direct you.
Today marks the 7th day since Lynn Babazi, the wife to Member of Parliament for Buyaga West County, Bernard Tinkasimire, disappeared.
Now, State Minister for Gender, Labour and Social Development, Rukia Nakadama Isanga, has asked Acholi leaders to take a lead in the fight against gender-based violence. Now, Minister Nakadama says this is one way through which sub-regions will gain relative peace and freedom. Gulu gender-based violence indicates that violence against women is actually increasing in the region. We have details for this.
Speaking at the launch of Gulu Gender-Based Violence Shelter, the State Minister Rukia Nakadama said cultural leaders have a role to transform their subjects' behaviors, especially the men who opt to beat their wives on a traditional account that beating is a collective show of behavior in marriage.
On a sad note, I just want to say that let us all condemn the perpetrators. Really, what we've seen today is unbelievable. Those young girls, and I think this will also be an issue for the cultural leaders to tackle. But we need to take action, we need to condemn them, and we should report.
68% of women living in rural areas in Gulu are subjected to domestic violence, while those in urban centers stand at 63%, which means that 2 out of every 3 women are domestically assaulted.
So I want to say that the information reaching our officers on GBV occurrences really perturbs because we are seeing that the high levels of violence against women and children, you know, every day, every now and then, are just going up.
Patiko clan chief of Acholi chiefdom, Jeremiah Bongojen, attributed wife inheritance as the major factor for domestic violence and HIV infection in Acholi community.
You're all aware of HIV, you know, it's all over the place. Now, my brother will die of HIV/AIDS, not so? And then I inherit that wife. Yeah? I also have my wife, for example, say, yeah? That means I'm going to contract HIV/AIDS from that woman I'm inheriting and also distribute it to my other wives, right? That means many more people are going to die. So we have said that, look, let us stop that.
Bongojen also called for the need to denounce such culture ties to curb the increasing HIV spread trend.
What we have done is that we have to sensitize people that, look, don't inherit your brother's wife because you don't know what killed him. Secondly, if that woman wants to marry one of the brothers, let it be an affair between the two of them, not backed by culture anymore.
He further tasked all the Acholi chiefs to start up open HIV testing, noting that this will be a tool to encourage subjects to test. According to the Gulu Gender Violence Based Report, since January 2014, 294 defilement cases have been reported to police, 27 rape, 316 child neglect, and child stealing, with 10 cases reportedly attributing to increased HIV infection in children under 15 years. Report compiled by Shamim Saad.
Now, the hearing of an appeal in which HIV-positive nurse Rosemary Nambiru, who is serving 3 years in prison for injecting a 2-year-old baby with an HIV cannula needle, has kicked off today. The lead counsel for Rosemary Nambiru, Paul Mushibi, has asked court to quash the conviction and sentence and set the nurse free. We have a report.
The hearing of Nambiru's appeal kicked off this afternoon at the High Court, presided over by Justice Atwoki Rugadia. Both parties submitted in their defense. The legal team for Rosemary Nambiru asked court to set their client free by quashing the 3-year sentence against her or replace it with a non-custodial sentence.
Our major prayer is to quash the conviction and the sentence, and they set the accused, the convict, free.
The defense team argues that the accuser failed to bring the nurse who is alleged to have witnessed the incident in court to give evidence on what really happened. They further said that for the last 30 years she has practiced nursing, Nambiru has no record of wrongdoing. They said that it's evident that Nambiru is HIV positive and therefore can be given a non-custodial sentence.
What court would have considered was the negligence attributed to reckless. The circumstances in the treatment room are showing something different. So our prayer to this court is the entire conviction and sentence were based on a non-existing offense.
However, the State Council insisted that the trial magistrate properly gave out her ruling since Nambiru acted negligently. The judgment to this appeal is to be delivered on the 22nd of next month.
Now, the Minister of Gender, Labour and Social Development, Mary Karoro Kurut, has lashed out at the media for exposing the nakedness of the country. Now, Minister Kurut asked the media practitioners to try and withhold some shameful information to protect the image of Uganda. She was highlighting the International Scout Cemetery Jamboree 2015. Now, here's more.
Karoro criticized the international media for concentrating on reporting about the negative stories and ignoring the positive trades made by Uganda.
When you find your mother naked, unfortunately, do you take a photograph of her and put it on the front page? So look at the naked shanks of my mother. Or do you cover up and say, man, here's a cloth, cover yourself. So when we are imaging our country, there are certain things we may not cover, but let us not expose the naked shanks of our motherland.
Uganda's Court Association was started over a century ago by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni with an aim of molding patriotic leaders.
Most importantly, we bring leadership. Scouting creates leaders. We use our patrol system, a patrol of 9 people, in which there is definitely a patrol leader, but there's also everybody has a role.
Uganda will join the rest of the world to celebrate the International Scout Century Jamboree 2015 from the 18th to 20th August next year.
Now, the elderly and disabled have asked government to intervene and sensitize the public such that the attitude towards them changes positively. This comes as Uganda prepares to host the National Conference on Microfinance and Disability. Now, the groups argue that they've continuously suffered stigma. We have more.
The conference will be the first of its kind both in Uganda and the world, a forum of presentation, innovations and research results in the field of microfinance. It will be held under the theme, Making Microfinance Work for the Unserved, Inclusion of Persons with Disability. But there is notable outcry by the disabled to benefit from the microfinance program since they are deemed as not creditworthy.
And that's why we are here, to show the case that actually persons with disabilities are creditworthy. And therefore they can access a loan and they can pay even much better than those who are not disabled.
Community sensitization is still lacking to change the mindset against the disabled.
We think one way to address this, among others, is to have an approach that we all work together. An approach that sensitizes the community about the financial capacity and ability of persons with disabilities, which we are doing actually together with government and our colleagues in microfinance institutions, but also to ensure that some of the materials we have are in the language that can be understood by the would-be potential persons with disabilities clients in these financial institutions.
The elderly say they are no longer being respected as the tradition demands, which has in one way or the other rendered them as unimportant to society.
So you have to be appreciated. In the olden societies, there used to be respect for the older persons. What has happened to that respect these days?
Well, this is your source of precise, accurate and analytical news.
This is Urban at 9. We'll take a break and return with a lot more stories. Stay.
This is Urban TV.